Alright, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here, and welcome to Why I Think Bitcoin Cash is a Scam. So a lot of people were asking me this question, why I think this way, and just remember in advance that this is, of course, an opinion. You may have your own opinion, but we're going to talk a whole bunch about Bitcoin Cash. So I'm going to provide some of the reasons why I believe it's pretty much a total functional scam. And what I say functional scam because it is a real thing. You can certainly buy Bitcoin Cash, you can use Bitcoin Cash, and you can make money with Bitcoin Cash, but there are numerous reasons why it's just pretty much a money-making scam. So let's go into some of the reasons. So Bitcoin Cash is supposedly the original idea of Satoshi and the original way it was supposed to work. But that's not the case at all, because Bitcoin Cash is way too centralized to actually be Bitcoin. So we're going to go into some reasonings behind that. Remember, just again, it's an opinion, so you may have your own opinions. And let me just start out by saying that if you're into Bitcoin Cash because you want to make money, because you invest into it and you just want to make money, well, that's okay, because you're just the average person. But there are a lot of people out there that don't know what Bitcoin Cash is. They see Bitcoin, it comes up on an exchange, and then they're like, wow, this is really cheap Bitcoin, so I'm going to buy into it. Some other reasons are that Bitcoin.com does not sell Bitcoin, it sells Bitcoin Cash. They changed that a little while back. So that is very misleading. So it doesn't really tell you that you're buying Bitcoin Cash either. So that's a pretty big problem. So, you know, a lot of people Google things that they don't understand. Of course, don't we all? And when you Google Bitcoin to learn about Bitcoin, to sell Bitcoin, you're going to get Bitcoin.com as one of the first Google results. And so if that is leading hundreds of thousands, millions of people to Bitcoin, to Bitcoin.com, where they end up buying Bitcoin Cash, that's a problem. And that was changed for a specific reason. So let's get into a few reasons. So first of all, I want to show you this video, and many of you may have seen this video on Roger Ver. So this video is actually pretty old. It's from 2013 for some insane reason. Roger Ver did not take this video down. Why? I have no idea, because in the description it states that this video was made 7 months before the collapse of Mt. Gox. If you don't know what Mt. Gox is, it was one of the first Bitcoin exchanges, and it underwent a hack. Nobody got their money back. Everybody lost all their Bitcoin, and the CEO of Mt. Gox recently was awarded millions of dollars, and nobody else. And he got away scot-free with basically millions of dollars. And if you don't know who Roger Ver is a Bitcoin Cash shill. He was once referred to as the Bitcoin Jesus, and now I'm a little bit more Jesus-y with my long hair, but I'm just kidding. But he was once referred to as a Bitcoin Jesus, seriously, and he supported Mt. Gox and Bitcoin. He was one of the first Bitcoin millionaires, and everybody took his word for everything. So he was the Bitcoin Jesus. So let's just watch this for a second. As you can see during this video, he's not even looking at the camera. He's looking to the left of the camera, or rather camera right, or whatever, and reading a script. So he can't even look you in the eye while he's talking. I know sometimes I look around and I'm not looking in the camera, but of course I have a computer screen in front of me. But this is him defending Mt. Gox when there were troubles 7 months before a gigantic hack that cost a lot of people millions of dollars.
I'm Roger Ver, longtime Bitcoin advocate and investor. Today I'm at the Mt. Gox World Headquarters in Tokyo, Japan. I had a nice chat with Mt. Gox CEO Mark Karpeles about their current situation. He showed me multiple bank statements as well as letters from banks and lawyers. I'm sure that...
Oh, banks and lawyers. So it's okay. There's letters from banks and lawyers.
...that all the current withdrawal problems at Mt. Gox are being caused by the traditional banking system.
Yeah, traditional banking system was causing that. The banks have nothing to do with Mt. Gox. It's cryptocurrency, and this was in 2013 when banks pretty much had nothing to do with cryptocurrency, and they don't today.
Not because of a lack of liquidity at Mt. Gox. The traditional banking partners that Mt. Gox needs to work with are not able to keep up with the demands of the growing Bitcoin economy. The dozens of people that make up the Mt. Gox team are hard at work establishing additional banking partners that eventually will make dealing with Mt. Gox easier for all their customers around the world. For now, I hope everyone will continue working on Bitcoin projects that will help make the world a better place.
7 months later, millions were lost. Everybody lost their Bitcoin. And if Mt. Gox had not gone down, you got to imagine, this is in 2013 when the price of Bitcoin was no more than $1,000. It could have been $200 at the time. This was published July 17th. I suppose I could look that. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. July 17th, 2013. So 2013. We got to go to all. 2013. See here. About $97. That's all it was. And this is where it got to 1,000. And as you can see, this little bump right here, I know my the date there is blocking it a little bit, but as you can see that little bump, and then let's ride it on down. That is when the Mt. Gox hack occurred, and everybody lost their money. So good job, Roger Ver. Great job. Now I want to show you the rage quit. Let's show this rage quit video. This is really great. This guy was interviewing Roger Ver. I guess I call him Roger Ver. I like to destroy his name a little bit because he destroyed his own name long ago. And so Roger Ver in this video is explaining why Bitcoin Cash is a good thing. And this guy here keeps using the term Bcash. And Roger Ver starts to become very upset that he keeps using the term Bcash. And he keeps saying that he likes the term Bcash. You can find the whole video, the longer interview on YouTube. As you can see some of the longer clips here. But this guy here, as you can see on the screen, keeps saying Bcash. And he keeps saying, that's a really nice name. I think you should call it Bcash. Because it fits, it rings, Bcash, I'm using Bcash. It sounds really good. I actually agree with the guy. And this aggravates Roger Ver a lot. So let's take a look at the guy that, if you are a Bitcoin Cash shill, this is the guy that you're following. Now, mind you, again, I don't have any problem with anybody that likes Bitcoin Cash. I'm just trying to tell you why I think Bitcoin Cash is one gigantic scam.
His busy life is short. Okay. I don't need to be stand here.
I'm going to mirror rebuttal the same comment. I think that there are only 3 people that want to call Bitcoin Cash Bitcoin Cash. You and Jahan and your sock puppets. Okay? Because there's nobody else.
I've never hired a single sock puppet. I don't need to be insulted. But please post this so the entire world can see how incredibly rude you are to me.
So that was that. Now, he did, mind you, aggravate him a little bit. The interview could have gone a little bit more professionally, but it just goes to show how quick this guy will snap. And I know I showed you only a short clip, but just before that, he was saying Bcash, and he basically established the fact that in his mind, he always calls it Bcash, and it's simply a mistake on his part. Whether he was trolling Roger Ver or not, he calls it Bcash, and that freaks out Roger Ver. He gets very upset because he needs you to know, and I'm going to get in this a little bit more, he needs you to know that everybody, the world, to know that it is Bitcoin Cash. You have to say Bitcoin Cash, not Bcash, Bitcoin Cash. And there's a reason for that. Now, Jahan, let's talk about Jahan for a little bit here. So I want to show you guys this picture, and this was going around the internet, and this one. So this is Roger Ver. This is Calvin Iyer, or I'm going to call him Iyer, and this is Craig Wright. So these two here are millionaires, essentially. Well, they're all 3 millionaires. But this is the photo that I really want to show you. So this is Calvin Iyer, and this is actually, I don't know who that guy is. I think that might be Craig Wright as well. Can't really be sure, but this is Jahan as well. And so the title says, Plotting the Death of Bitcoin and All Altcoins, Long Live BCH. So this went around the internet at the time. Let me show you when this occurred. So this is the Bitcoin Cash chart, and this is approximately November 10th through the 13th. So exact dates, not really entirely relevant here, but So as you can see before that, Bitcoin Cash trades at a regular amount of about $300. It fluctuates maybe to $500, $400. That is the price of Bitcoin Cash. Before that, so what happened here is that these two guys, let me get back to it, these two guys are millionaires, and so they pumped Bitcoin Cash. They basically conspired together to pump Bitcoin Cash at a very specific time with millions of dollars. Now, if you might say that millions of dollars is a lot of money, but let's say you had $100 million, that's how much you were worth. Imagine it could only take $3 million or so to make a huge impact on a crypto world and start making prices rise. And so what's 3% of $100 million? Just imagine if you had $100 in your bank account and it only took you $3 to cause a huge spike in the cryptocurrency world. Now, I understand that's a weird example, but just go with it. So what is 3% of your bank account? Even if you only had $100, $3 is 3%. It's not much money. So to these guys, 3%, a few million dollars, is nothing. And this is Jihan. He is one of the owners of Bitcoin.com, who at this time switched Bitcoin.com to basically BitcoinCash.com. Now, it's still called Bitcoin.com, but when you go there, you're buying Bitcoin Cash, not Bitcoin. And it was around this time that they switched to exclusively Bitcoin Cash. And look what happened. It rose. It rose quite a lot. Now, this isn't the exact... It's hard to actually get into this price here. We might be able to go 3 months back here and get a little bit better pricing. But I remember it got about $2,400, and there it is right there. I watched this happen. I was sitting at my computer, and I was kind of a little worried. So what happens when you start to pump money into a market? So the price starts rising, and that causes other people to see that price rise. So they want to get in on it. They want to jump in and ride that price up, and then when it starts going down, or whatever their particular investment strategy is, they're going to sell when it gets high. And everybody's looking to do that. Everybody's looking to do the same thing on an exchange. Once the prices are rising, everybody's jumping in. When the prices are falling, everybody's getting out. And that makes the situation worse in a market. So when everybody's getting in, that means it's going up, 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 up quick. And when everybody's selling, it's going down quick. And it causes a lot of fear. So that means that some people bought Bitcoin Cash at over $2,000, and then it subsequently crashed within a couple days and went all the way down to 900 and then stayed pretty low here, about 1,300 and such. So that's what they did. They chose to conspire together to raise the price of Bitcoin Cash. At the same time, that lowered the price of Bitcoin and a whole bunch of things. So a lot of people lost money, a lot of people gained money. So this hurt people, this hurt the crypto world doing this. These people want Bitcoin Cash to be the #1 crypto, and that's okay to some degree, but they're using shady tactics to do it. They're getting people together. If you don't think that millionaires get together around a table for some drinks, woohoo, if you don't think that happens, and that there's a conspiracy, and I'm not talking about no 9/11 conspiracy, right? I could conspire with a friend to go out and do a crime, right? It's a conspiracy is a conspiracy. It's just don't overblow the word, okay? You know, these people, they're getting together and conspiring. It doesn't even have to be a negative thing. But these people are conspiring to pump and dump Bitcoin Cash so that it ruins Bitcoin, so that it ruins other altcoins, so that Bitcoin Cash goes up and they make money. Not you, they make money. This is a big problem, and anybody that doesn't see this, I'm very sorry for you, and I'm trying to this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you guys out. And again, this is all my opinion. And you guys are free to have your own opinion. You're free to comment on the channel. You're free to have a discussion, as long as it's somewhat civil, I hope, which I doubt. So let's... This is an older video, but this is a really great video. I hope you guys take into consideration. You can actually find that Bitcoin Under Attack Andreas, or you can just Bitcoin Q&A, the scaling rites of passage here. So let's play this for just a second.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to be attacked, you've misunderstood what this is about. You don't go and poke a $20 trillion industry and go, hey, we're going to disrupt you. And then wait for it to roll over, right? This is offensive to a lot of governments and a lot of very, very rich institutions, and there are.
So in this case, he's sort of talking about how cryptocurrency in governments, but not exclusively. So he's talking about anybody that is trying to assault Bitcoin in some way or another because they see a lot of money with Bitcoin and they want in on that. And this isn't unusual. This isn't something that should surprise you. This happens everywhere. This happens in business. You could have a Target and a Walmart across the street. The Target lowers their prices. The Walmart lowers their prices. The Walmart says, okay, we're going to bring in these nice HD TVs. These are going to make the Walmart shopping experience better. So Target says, okay, well, we're going to do something else. This happens all the time in business. This isn't anything new, and it's quite healthy. It's called competition. But when you're deliberately trying to attack people and trying to cost people money, it turns into a different story. So the reason why Bitcoin Cash has to be called Bitcoin Cash is because without Bitcoin in the name, nobody's going to buy it. It's just going to be a $400 or a $300 fork of Bitcoin. And if you notice, Bitcoin Gold isn't going anywhere. That's because there aren't a bunch of shills behind it that are trying to push it, that are trying to pump millions of dollars into it, that are trying to conspire with the owners of websites so that they can turn their coins and exclusively sell it in Bitcoin Cash. That's a bad conspiracy. That is unhealthy. So let's take it. Let me just throw you like 3 examples that can help you out. Now, these might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but I hope that it helps you out. So why is Bitcoin Cash called Bitcoin Cash? Well, because it needs the Bitcoin brand name. So, for example, let's say you are a creator of really poor quality TVs. Maybe you make these poor quality TVs for emerging markets. Maybe you just make them for poor people. Maybe you just don't know how to make a good TV. Okay? So you've got a small factory, and you've created your first crappy TV. Now, these TVs just aren't good. They're bad quality, whatever. So, an example anyway. So, what do you name your TV? Now, if you name your TV something random, you know, something unique, you're not going to get many sales. Sure, you're going to sell some TVs, but you're not going to get that many sales. So, one day, you decide that you are going to call your TVs the Samsung Viewer 2000, right? So now this is on sale next to other Samsung TVs, and I know this would be a copyright in the real world, but let's just go with this example. So now people are shopping for TVs, and they see this very cheap $200 TV. And they look at it and they say, wow, it's a Samsung. It's a Samsung Viewer 2000 Turbo Edition. This has to be a good TV, right? Because I like Samsung. Samsung is a great TV. So then they buy your TV, right? They're unsuspecting people that are going around and buying these TVs. And this is exactly what's happening on Coinbase. People see unsuspecting people might come along. Oh, they actually removed Bitcoin Cash for a little while. Amazing. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. I didn't even expect this. I literally didn't expect this. I had Coinbase up to show you guys this. And it's gone. It's just gone. It's still on here, but it's just not trading at the moment. Unbelievable. I can't even fathom. Oh, here it goes, just magically. So when newbies come in, unsuspecting people, and there's nothing wrong with being unsuspecting, you want to get into the crypto world, you want to start making money, you want to start getting coins and maybe preparing for the future, whatever your interest is, and you come along and you see Bitcoin for $2,600, and last you saw, it was for 13,000. And so Coinbase releases it on Bitcoin Cash on Coinbase just a few days ago, and it comes out of nowhere. It was supposed to come January 1st, but they release it out of nowhere. Just before Bitcoin Cash was released on Coinbase was right here. Well, actually, about right here. Somewhere around here. And look at the rise before it was released, several days before it was released. This means that somebody on Coinbase told other people that Bitcoin Cash was about to be released in a few days. And there's actually a Reddit post where somebody was saying that they had a friend at Coinbase. Unfortunately, I don't have that pulled up, but you can probably pull that up if you would like. So on Reddit, somebody had a friend that said that they were going to release Bitcoin Cash, and they said, I got a friend at Coinbase. So that's pretty creepy, to say the least. And that's called insider trading, which is illegal. So now all these new people that know nothing about Bitcoin Cash start seeing it come on Coinbase. So they start piling their money in. Maybe they know it's Bitcoin Cash and they want to pile their money in. Maybe they don't know it's Bitcoin Cash and maybe they think it's cheap Bitcoin. So they start piling their money in. Now Coinbase doesn't allow them to sell their coin. And look what happened when they did sell their coin. Boom, it just dumped. And that's what Bitcoin Cash should have done, because nobody likes Bitcoin Cash. 90% of the Bitcoin community does not like Bitcoin Cash. So it goes up, people are unable to sell it, and it reaches a price of $9,000. Now you can't see it on here, I think you can see it on GDAX, so if you go to GDAX and you look at the price, it went all the way up to $9,000. So that means people were paying $9,000 for shares of Bitcoin Cash before they released the ability to sell on Coinbase. So that was an insider job. That's called insider trading. That's illegal. That's not good. Let's give you another example. So there's a lot of movies out there. And have you ever noticed that when a movie gets released, that other movies come along that are just similar to it, or it has almost the exact same name, and it's just a B-grade movie of the same thing? For example, a lot of Disney movies will come out, and then they will release a movie that is very similar to that Disney movie, but it's not Disney. It's just some crappy movie. So let's just throw a movie out there. Let's just throw some movie out there as an example. Let's say Speed, the movie Speed. If you've never seen the movie Speed, first of all, I highly recommend it because it was, it was a good movie. It was a 90s movie, but it was a good movie. And two, I need to ask you, what planet have you been living on for like the past century? I don't know. But Speed. So the Keanu Reeves movie, that's what I'm talking about, with the bomb and the bus. So now, I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm just using it as a hypothetical example. So the movie Speed comes out, it's a blockbuster hit, it makes a lot of money, and then 3 months later, you're shopping around in the movie store, or you're looking in the bargain bin of DVDs or VHS or whatever it was at the time, and you come across a movie that's called Bomb Bus. Right? So there's a bomb on a bus, and this cop needs to stop it, right? So it's a cheap B-grade movie of Speed, right? Because a director was like, hey, I bet I can make a movie that's just like Speed, and people will buy it because people bought Speed, right? So they're going to buy this movie too. Another example, Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin. It has to use the Bitcoin name. One more thing. So a lot of people were saying that Bitcoin Cash is the original vision of Satoshi, which is just completely untrue. So, for example, you can look at a modern Porsche, the Porsche. You can look at the modern Porsche and be like, wow, that's a great car, but I bet I can do it differently. So then you start making your own Porsches, and you go, no, this is the original vision of Porsche, so I'm going to make it the original way that it was supposed to be made like 70 years ago, even though that's probably a bad idea because technology changes and it was made the way it was made for a reason. And so now you're selling Porsches. You're selling Porsche classics. So they're not real Porsches. It's not even a classic Porsche. You're just making some fake Porsche and you're calling it Porsche. It's not a Porsche. It's not the same car. It's not the same movie. It's not the same TV as the examples that I gave you. It's a different thing. And I wouldn't mind that. I don't mind it. So in the same way that I don't mind Bitcoin Gold. If you want to fork Bitcoin, if you want to fork a coin, that's fine. What I would suggest to you is coming up with your own name. Just come up with your own name. If you're so uncreative that you can't physically come up with a name that's going to sell properly to people and be like, oh man, I really like that name. I like Monacoin. I like Vertcoin. I like Dashcoin. I like Ethereum. I like Litecoin. You can't come up with your own name, then just don't even bother. So if you have to come up with Bitcoin Cash, then don't bother. So I hope this video shows you guys, because I know I was getting a lot of questions as to why I don't like Bitcoin Cash. I had a couple slightly angry Bitcoin Cash shills at me saying that I didn't describe why Bitcoin Cash was a scam. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you guys want to do your own research, head to Bitcoin Reddit or head to any of the Reddits, look up news, Google it, Google why, and you're going to find out very, very fast, if you do your own research, why Bitcoin Cash has been a scam all along, and it's only to make these people money. You're making other people money. Get rid of your Bitcoin Cash. That is my suggestion. That's the one marketing suggestion that I'm going to give you. I can't tell you when to buy. I can't tell you how much to buy, because if you lose money, then I'm going to feel bad, and I'm not a certified investor, so I can't give you knowledge like that. Even a qualified investor cannot physically give you that sort of thing unless you're in their office and you're paying them and you're working with them closely. Okay, so nobody can tell you marketing advice. Nobody can tell you when to sell, because nobody knows when to sell or buy, except for these people, because they're pumping millions of dollars into it, and then they go, oh, it's high enough now, let's all sell and then drink our wine together. So my one advice to all of my viewers: get rid of your Bitcoin Cash. I have no Bitcoin Cash, and I never will. The only time I'll ever buy Bitcoin Cash, is if I'm going to buy an Antminer S9. So if you go to the Antminer website, the Bitmain website, to buy an Antminer, which is an ASIC miner, which mines SHA-256, so Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash it can mine. When you go to the website, they only accept it in Bitcoin Cash. So you basically have to buy it that way, unless you go to a third-party vendor and buy it more expensively another way. And even then, if they only accept Bitcoin Cash, I would not be surprised. Now, I have no evidence of this. This is pure speculation, so I have no evidence of this. But I wouldn't be surprised if these various Bitcoin shills communicated with the Antminer website and the CEO or whoever's running it and the company, and said something along the lines of, if you sell your Antminers in Bitcoin Cash, we will either promise you that the prices will raise, or we'll promise you that we'll give you $100 maybe credit for every Antminer that you sell in Bitcoin Cash, or maybe we'll incentivize you in some way. Maybe we'll advertise you. We'll incentivize you in some way, shape, or form if you sell your Antminers in exclusively Bitcoin Cash. That's just my speculation on that. I would absolutely not be surprised in the least. My eyes wouldn't even blink if I saw that as proof. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it cleared some things up for you guys. I implore you to do your own research. And again, if you're just into Bitcoin Cash just to make a couple bucks, and I don't mean like these guys making a couple bucks, like millions of dollars, and then screwing people over by instantly dropping the price, then fine, no problem. But if you're a true Bitcoin shill and you think it's the real Bitcoin, you got another thing coming. And I'm sorry to have to bring that to you, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As usual, I'll see you guys next time.